Let me take you back. Back in 2005, I was sitting in my doctor's office, and I was crying. I was obese, I was tired, and I'd lost my zest for life. Now, my doctor happened to be just about the same age that I was, and she was also a mom, a hard-working mom. And she said to me, "Please don't cry, or I'm going to start crying too," because she had been discovering the same thing among so many of her patients, especially the ones who are in their 40s and who were moms. Well, in 2005, I started to look for my solution with a little nutritional help from my doctor, but I didn't find it right away. I continued to do lots of exercise, lots of cardio, and I continued to try to cut my calories until I could lose weight. Now, I tried some of the big weight loss programs, and sometimes they would work for a little while, but what I always found is I would lose a few pounds, maybe as few as 5, and then the pounds would come back on, even more. Once again, in 2005, at 5'1", I weighed over 160 pounds, which made me clinically obese. Now, this difficulty started with weight when I was only 8 years old, and my pediatrician put me on my first diet, and I'll never forget what he said. He said, "Kathy, how would you like to count calories?" And of course, since he was the authority figure, and I figured he knew what he was doing, I said, "Sure." And so it began. And it wasn't until 2008 that I finally found the solution to the way I needed to eat to lose all the weight that I wanted and needed and to keep it off for good. To be very specific, back in 2008, I was still up at around 155 pounds, so I had had some success. My top non-pregnancy weight was 185. At 5'1", you do the math. That's pretty overweight. And I had managed slowly but surely to grind my weight down to 155, but I was stuck there. Sometimes I would dip below 150, but I always bounced right back up. So what did I do? Well, I eliminated sugar, grain, processed vegetable oil, and traditional cardio. And what that means for you today is I started writing, and I started writing everything down. Now, you'll see behind me some of the books that I read studying what sugar does to our bodies and how it makes us store fat. But in addition, all of these are diaries and notebooks that I kept during all of those years, detailing and documenting exactly what I did and exactly what I ate to lose the weight and keep it off for good. These diaries represent all of the personal research that went into Sugar Freedom. But I'm excited now because Sugar Freedom came out 18 months ago, and I've had the incredible opportunity as trainer at Gordon Studio, certified turbulence trainer, and as the author and coach at sugarfreedom.com to work with all kinds of real people who have followed the plan as well. You see, I live by this motto: we receive what we want for others. And it was the point at which I started to help other people and support other people in their weight loss journey, their fat loss journey, that I started to succeed myself. So what has happened is that since 2008, I literally have been writing down exactly what I've been eating to take off the weight, to release the fat, burn it, and get rid of it for good. But not only that, I've started working with and coaching individuals who have lost 10, 20, over 50, even 80 pounds, and they are keeping it off for good. But the most important thing that they're doing, that I'm doing as well, is that I am finding a personal solution to how to eat for the rest of my life. Let me be a little bit more specific. I'm a sugar addict. If I eat a trigger food, it could be a donut or cookies or something as simple as a banana, my eating escalates, and I find that I simply cannot eat until I feel physically sick. Something is going on, not just with the way I respond to food, but also chemical reactions in my brain. Some of the latest research has showed that those of us who are addicted to sugar, we react to dopamine differently. Dopamine, one of the neurotransmitters that is a response to eating sugar and starchy carbohydrates. Now, it appears that those of us who have been obese or who are obese have different dopamine transmitters. Either we don't have as many, or they aren't as sensitive, which could explain why we need to eat more sugar to get more of a rush. On top of that, Dr. Vera Tarman, who wrote Sugar Junkies, who admits to being a sugar junkie herself, tells us that when people like me, and maybe people like you, eat sugar and starch especially that crazy combination of sugar, starch, fat, and salt all mixed together, that we react to that differently than somebody who is naturally slender. It may be that I get an even more powerful hit from that food than someone who's never had a weight problem or a sugar addiction problem all their life. This has been the work that I've been doing since 2008, and I am so excited to be able to share it with you at sugarfreedom.com and at sugarfreedom.com/blog. You see, more and more, everybody is telling you to get off of sugar. Why, the latest book I just read on my Kindle is called Sugar Crush, and it's all about how sugar can affect neuropathy, how it can affect our circulation, and how it may be what's behind conditions like plantar fasciitis, carpal tunnel syndrome, including being overweight. It just keeps piling on. Now, most of these books do have some meal plans and they have some food plans in them. They tell you what to eliminate. But what Sugar Freedom does is it literally goes back through these years of exactly the foods, the meal plans, and the simple recipes that worked for me, that continue to work for me, and now are working for my clients like Pauline and Sharon and Dwight and all the wonderful people who come into Gordon's studio, and also the people that I get to be in touch with through sugarfreedom.com. So if everyone is telling you to get off sugar, but you're not quite sure how, sign up at sugarfreedom.com/blog. Join me. I like to send emails and meal plans, and I love to share wonderful recipes and tips and things that you can do to leave sugar behind. And so before I leave you today, I will leave you with the recipe for my craving crushing tonic. This originally came to me from Rebecca Tabbert, who is a certified turbulence trainer in California, and I made a little modification to it. So it's very simple. 1 tablespoon of Bragg's apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and just a few drops of lemon stevia to take the edge off. Now what you do is you can add a little bit of water, just a few ounces, which makes it very strong and you need to drink it fast, or you can add 16 ounces of water and sip it more slowly. I admit it's not the tastiest thing in the world, and for some people it can be difficult to get down. So either add a little bit of water, drink it fast, and then chase it with pure water, or add plenty of water and drink it a little bit more slowly and take your time with it. The reason I always tell people about the craving tonic is I've been drinking this for over a year now. And every day when I drink this tonic, my cravings are controlled. And on the days when I leave it out, right around 3 o'clock, my cravings do seem to come back. It really is wonderful to find new ways, simple ways to control appetite, manage cravings, and get the results you want. So sign up at sugarfreedom.com/blog because I am sharing with you the tips and the tricks that you can use to get off sugar for good. And if you're ready, go to sugarfreedom.com, get the Sugar Freedom program, and I will see you in your email box where we will either lose and release fat together or keep it off together for good. Thanks everybody for visiting. Bye-bye for now.